Traditionally, we produced an app that was very heavy on pro features. Those pro features are still in the app, but we've opted for a slightly different view, whereby what we want to do with this version is to allow for new and interesting workflows. The pro features are still in there, but you have to go and discover them and find them, because we think that the iPhone now is moving into a new world where it can satisfy all sorts of different workflows and filming requirements. So MAVIS is a company that builds lots of different things, but what we are launching at NAB is the new MAVIS camera app for iPhone and iPad.
When you say MAVIS builds lots of things, what are some of the other things you build?
Well, we had a previous camera app that was called MAVIS Pro Camera, and this is sort of an iteration, but it's a completely new app. We've gone right back to the beginning, started again, and have a completely new build and code base. And what that's done is allow us to completely change our view of what that app is for and how it's used. So traditionally, we produced an app that was very heavy on pro features. Those pro features are still in the app, but we've opted for a slightly different view, whereby what we want to do with this version is to allow for new and interesting workflows. The pro features are still in there, but you have to go and discover them and find them, because we think that the iPhone now is moving into a new world where it can satisfy all sorts of different workflows and filming requirements.
This may come as a shock to you, okay, so stay seated, but there is a camera app on the iPhone already. Why do we need this?
There is, and it's a very good app, and it uses the same camera that we use. What we're doing with the new MAVIS camera app is unlocking these new workflows. That starts with things like cloud-based workflows. So we have direct connect to Frame.io. So we can use our app to record, but also simultaneously upload data progressively while you're recording to Frame.io. And then when you hit stop, that file is available to you in Frame.io for you to start editing. And that's just one example of why we would why our app exists over and above, say, the stock camera app, because it's that kind of workflow that we're now enabling.
Well, one of the things the iPhone is famous for is a lot of post-processing on the image so that it enhances whatever the sensors come up with. Are you bypassing that post-processing, or where in the image chain do you kick in?
We build on top of Apple's APIs. So we use the same camera, the same lens, the same technology that Apple provides that a number of apps also use. So things like HDR, Apple Log, ProRes, we take advantage of all those features that Apple have put into the hardware, and we surface those out to the user. We don't necessarily surface them out straight away. You might have to look for them if you're interested, and that's on purpose, because what we wanted to do was start with a very familiar, clean interface. If you want to then go and find those features, you can go and find them, but if you are just interested in getting your phone out and starting to record because you just want to get that content into the cloud because you're doing something simple for social media, and maybe you want to do that very fast, you've got a familiar interface for you to use.
What I'm confused about is, are you a camera app, or are you an app that takes the image created by the camera and does something to it?
Well, we're both. So if you're a filmmaker, we have tools that allow you to make great content for films. So you can put the app into 24 frames a second. You can use Apple Log. You can use our manual controls. You can set the shutter. And they're very important to filmmakers. And we provide all that functionality, and that can just be recorded directly to the iPhone. But equally, we provide a number of features and tools that you might want to use if you're not a filmmaker. So let's say, for example, you're a streamer. Well, the iPhone has a great camera on it. You might want to use that camera to stream to YouTube. We allow for that. We allow you to stream to Instagram. We allow you to do that both in landscape and portrait. But when we also allow you to do things like stream to SRT, which traditionally has been more of a professional type flavour of streaming. People want to grab those images and send them somewhere. We want you to grab the best image. If you understand the manual tools, you're welcome to use them. But we grab that image and we can either write it to disk in a traditional camera workflow, or we can send it to new and interesting destinations.
So what have you got that's new for us now?
So the whole app is new. That's the first thing. So we're launching it at NAB. As I said, we had a previous iteration, but that was completely different. This is a complete rewrite from the ground up. So it's a completely new app. So this is it here. As you can see, you know, it should have a level of familiarity. We've got a big fat record button. We've turned on the VUs. You can turn all this off. It's fairly a flexible UE. I can turn and customize it if I want. I can do it in portrait, and you'll see the whole thing flips around in portrait. What is a few standout features that we found demoing at NAB, because obviously it's a brand new product. One of them is the audio, for example. We have a very comprehensive audio system. We actually have a mixer built into the app. So you can bring in multiple channels of audio. We can actually bring in up to 8 channels of audio with a USB audio interface. We can mix those channels down. You get control over gain, you get control over pan, and we mix that into a stereo pair. And that's great if you're doing 3 or 4 people because you need to provide a stereo pair to, say, YouTube. But what we can also do is allow you to record individual channels alongside that stereo pair. So if you're doing a stream to YouTube, but also you want to record it locally to allow you to edit it later, the individual audio channels provide a really rich experience and data set for you to do a really high quality edit later on. And that's just one of the sort of unique things that I think that we provide in our app. And it's, again, one of those things that are very different from the stock camera app.
One of the problems the iPhone had in prior years is shooting 25 frames a second. Can you support 25 frames?
Yep. So we support a number of different frame rates. We are reliant on the APIs that Apple provide. So we ask the camera to go into a frame rate. Apple provide us an API that allows us to set it into 25 frames a second. We can go into 24 frames a second, 50, 60. So we have the ability to change that frame rate on the phone using those APIs provided by Apple.
As you look at the industry, as you were developing this, what trends were you trying to meet? Where you see photography going?
I think the modern filmmaker, the modern content creator, does. They're a bit of a chameleon. They have to do a number of different things now. So I think that traditionally maybe you specialised in one area, and I don't think you have the luxury of doing that anymore. Whether it was a luxury or not, I'm not sure. But now I think you might be shooting some really high quality content on Monday. You might be doing some streaming on Tuesday. You might be doing some social media content on Wednesday. I think the modern content creator has to adapt to the content that's being produced. And because we can consume content now in so many ways, and because we can consume it very fast and very quickly, I think getting content off a phone like this into the cloud, or getting high quality content and speeding up that workflow is really important. And so the workflows that we want to provide allow you to get the most out of what we think is the best camera that exists on the planet, because it's the one in your pocket. It's the one you've always got on you. And so we want to allow you to grab the best quality content in the easiest way possible, and produce that content very quickly, efficiently, and easily.
How would you describe your typical customer?
I think it's content creators. I think it's someone who wants to produce high quality content. They might be doing it on a budget, but they equally might be doing it because they don't have the camera that they might use on a daily basis. Maybe they use a large format camera, and the one they've actually got in their pocket is the iPhone. So I think our customers it breaks down into, I think, a number of different workflows. So it might be, as I said before, the filmmaker, but they might be using the iPhone because it's a tool for doing low budget production. There might be a customer who might be, say, doing red carpet events. That's a classic. So if I'm doing a red carpet event, I might be shooting for landscape video, but I might be shooting for portrait video. It's a very instant thing, so I want to get that content out the door very quickly. So I might be using a camera to cloud workflow to deliver that to an editor who's going to cut it get it onto social media, and get it out to that audience very quickly.
For people that haven't heard of MAVIS or heard of this product, what are the key benefits you want them to know?
That we provide a tool that is meant to be easy to use but very powerful, and that we are what we're investing in is actually something bigger. So over the next 6 to 12 months, we have a very exciting product roadmap, and the camera for us, the MAVIS camera, is the start of a much broader ecosystem. So by understanding the MAVIS camera, we want you to be able to take that learning and that understanding and that power and broaden it out into a wider ecosystem that we're going to develop over the next 6 to 12 months, but that's the beginning of it. But then over time, it will just become wider and more expansive.
Patrick, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.